Okay, so you're learning a little bit more about the efforts made to try to find Mike Williams so many years ago. I want to get a different perspective right now. Joining us is criminal defense attorney Marni Snyder. Marni, great to have you back here on Law&Crime.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So I got to ask you, I've wanted to ask this all morning. Let me get this straight. Brian Winchester, right, the guy who said he shot Mike Williams, took an immunity deal, right? So he is granted full immunity. And let me get this straight. That means he can never be prosecuted for killing Mike Williams. And this also means that if she, Denise Williams, is found not guilty, then no one will be responsible for what happened to this guy?
That's correct, as long as he, in the process of trying Ms. Williams, Mr. Winchester fulfills the terms of his deal, meaning that he tells the truth, but his deal is not based on the outcome of the trial. It's just based on telling the truth during the trial and abiding by the other terms and conditions that they placed on him.
So the defense made a pretty good argument that he's got an incentive to lie. He was charged with kidnapping, was found guilty of that, could have faced life in prison, but then said, hey, I got some information about what happened to Mike Williams, if you want to hear it. Is that a good idea? I mean, is that a good perspective that this guy might have an incentive to lie?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely what the defense is going to argue, that he has a motive to lie, meaning an incentive to lie. The prosecution has to go over all of these details because they have a lot to do other than him being the star witness in order for this to work out for them. And so, you know, it could end up bad and no one could be held responsible for his death.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. All right, let's go live. We're not going to go back live yet. Let's take a break. We come back, we will be live. We don't want you to miss anything in the Denise Williams trial. Okay, so this morning, as you saw, the prosecution was outlining their case against the defendant, Denise Williams. Now I'm back here with Marni Snyder. Marni, my question to you is, in your opinion, what do you think is the strongest piece of evidence to tie Denise to the plot to kill her husband? Is it the life insurance policy? How quick she was going to declare him dead? I'm curious.
This is absolutely a circumstantial case, and so we don't want to point to just one thing that's going to tie it together. But the life insurance policy and, of course, the co-defendant who has the immunity deal, that testimony is going to be absolutely key. But they're also going to point to the ways that she acted after he went missing, the way that she reported his death to get the insurance policy. Every little thing that she did between his disappearance and today is going to factor in some way to them proving their case. Two things. One, it's a great analysis. And two, great picture in the background. I was kind of almost a little distracted by it, but it's great. I want you to stand by. We're going to play a little bit more of the prosecution's opening statement, and we have a lot more to analyze in this case because there's so many details. Let's keep going. Okay, this break in court gives me a great opportunity to talk to Marni. Marni, one of the things that one of our commenters on Twitter said, and this is a pretty good point, what would be the incentive for Brian Winchester to kill his best friend if it wasn't to appease and be with the defendant? Right. I mean, that's exactly one of those great points that's going to lend a ring of truth to everything that he says, is that it wouldn't make sense for him to participate in any of this unless it was to please her, to be with her, or when they pay out the life insurance policy to her, he gets to enjoy the benefit of her having that money once they're together. Right. So that is absolutely a great point that they're going to be using in the prosecution's argument. And that is great timing because a brand new witness is on the stand. Let's go live. Okay, while they go to a sidebar there, let's bring on Marni Snyder. And I got to ask you the million-dollar question. What is it going to be like when Brian Winchester, the prosecution's key witness, they wouldn't have this case without him, they wouldn't have the body without him. What is it going to be like when he takes the stand? Putting all of these things together. So that gentleman was only on the stand for a little bit, and he just needed to explain what he found. I assume, hopefully, that Brian Winchester, in order for the prosecution to put this case together, that Brian Winchester is going to talk about those weights and that waiter system that they used to dispose of the body, or that he used. And so all of these little things are going to come together with him. I actually like the way that they're putting them on first and they're building up to him because it will give him credibility as soon as he opens his mouth when he hits on these points. If he's unable to do that, you're going to see them just talk about his motive to lie. See, my question to you is with this, and I guess I'm a little confused. Have you ever seen cases like this where you don't have a body for 17 years and now
two people are implicated in this?
Well, they're going to have to argue and they're going to have to show that they're the reason we don't have this body, that the prosecution didn't do anything wrong, the parks didn't do anything wrong, these people were searching, they were using their whole hearts and every resource they have to try and find this body, and it's because of this nefarious couple that they don't have them. And they have to make sure that they can prove that and not that this gentleman has just been missing or was eaten by alligators.
Yeah, well, we know that didn't happen. But I'll tell you what, this case is very interesting from the facts. It's very interesting to see the prosecution's argument. But in case you haven't seen it, earlier this morning, the defense presented their opening statement. And I want to play that for you because it gives you an idea of their strategy. And I'll give you a clue. They're focusing really on one person. Take a look. So, Marni, Joe, maybe he's making a good point. Is it a little unbelievable to believe that Mike Williams and Denise Williams, high school sweethearts, all of a sudden she turned on him because she's having an affair and wants the proceeds of a life insurance policy? I mean, is that enough to commit a murder?
Right. He's trying to take away all motive that points to her. And then he could point to Brian Winchester saying that he has these motives to lie and take away other parts of the circumstantial evidence. So if he's a great provider during their marriage, if there's no marital trouble, then it's more likely that she didn't try to kill him for the insurance money, that, she wasn't part of this whole plot, and that Brian might have killed him to get to her, to be with her, or that Brian's just lying completely.
Look, we call this the love triangle murder trial because that's really what it is. It is the sordid details of this still keep coming forward, and we're learning more. Now, Marni, Joe, I know you're going to stay with us. I will be signing off, but Vincent Hill will be signing on. We're going to be back live in that courtroom. This is day one of the Denise Williams trial. You're not going to want to miss anything. This is just the beginning. And then later on in the trial, we're all waiting for when Brian Winchester takes the stand against his ex-lover. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.